Thursday, the 3rd, we're on full body, and we do have 2 parts. So we have 5, 6, or 7 rounds. That is your choice. And we have plank holds for part 2. So we have swing presses, we have renegade rows, weighted lateral with a single press, and we have our plank holds. Okay. Swing presses. Renegade rows. You can hold on to your weight if they're not going to roll away from you. Weighted lateral with single press. 1, 2, 3, and max plank hold. So you are just going to hold elbow plank, max 3 times. All right, swing presses. So this is kind of combining a kettlebell, well, a swing. It's usually done with a kettlebell, but we don't show it with kettlebells. So a swing and a overhead press or a shoulder press. So you're gonna take your weight and you're gonna first practice the swing part. So you're gonna have your dumbbells on either side of your body, and your swing motion is a hinge motion. Hinge motion means your butt goes backward, not down, backward to the wall behind you, and as it moves backward, your back is gonna naturally fold. That is your hinge. Your hips and your butt push back. As a result of them doing that, your back naturally folds toward the floor, okay? So your knees are never locked out. They are gonna bend, but you're not squatting and you're not thinking about going down. You're thinking about moving backward. So your butt moves back, your back comes down, but it stays straight. You're gonna feel it pull your hamstring and your butt, and maybe even your lower back, okay? Here, up. Here, up. Here, up. Notice my butt moving backward. My butt is moving backward. This is your hinge motion, and your back is not round, your back is straight, okay? That is your hinge motion. So when you add your swing with it, this is what it looks like. Your weights are just kind of acting like a pendulum, swinging right alongside and copying exactly what your body's doing, okay? This is your swing. Now, to add the press to it, when we come here, we're gonna fold up our arms and press up. Swing, press, swing, press, swing, press, swing, press, swing. It's a very fluid motion, so don't worry too much about hitting an exact spot, as long as you're hinging properly and you land overhead. Really, that's all you need to worry about, okay? So this is your swing, press. I recommend practicing it broken down like I just showed you if you're struggling with it. Renegade row. So renegade row can be done in full plank or kneeling. And like I mentioned briefly, if you have weights that are true hex on the end, meaning they have very flat, sharp sides, you can stay holding onto your weights and they're not gonna roll away from you. All of mine are kind of hex with rounded. They're not super sharp. Usually these neoprene type weights are not. It's usually the more like solid old school looking metal ones or whatever the heck they're made out of. Those ones are usually the ones that are not gonna roll on you. So if you are not sure or you don't wanna risk it or you have bad wrists or whatever it is, you're gonna put the weights here, put your arms on the side, okay? Or hands, your hands are gonna go on the side. Now you're either gonna be in a regular high plank or you're gonna be kneeling, okay? And if you're in a high plank, widen up your legs. So if you normally stand like this, because you're gonna be balancing on one hand. So you're gonna grab the weight, this should be like down here. You're gonna row it, down, down. Grab, row, down, down. Grab, row, down, down. Grab, row, down, down. Kneeling. Grab, row, down, grab, row, down, grab, row. Okay, so when you row, it's just like our one-armed rows that we did here, where you're pulling the weight back, you're pulling your shoulder blades back, okay? And your weighted lateral with single press. So your lateral looks like this. You're gonna step out to the side, big step out to the side. Your feet are pointed forward, your body's pointed forward, and you are going to, kind of like I just talked about, when your back went back, butt went back to the wall, your butt is gonna kind of lead the way again. It's gonna sink down and diagonal. So I go from here to shifting the weight. So all I need to do to shift that weight, as you saw, was bend this knee. So immediately when I bend, my weight is gonna start to go to this side. So this leg stays straight, I'm gonna bend, and I'm gonna let my butt sink down and diagonal. So my legs look like this, all the weight is on this side, and then I'm gonna return. Big step, bend and sink diagonal, return, okay? So think of it as there's this pocket back here that you are trying to sink your butt into, okay? So now with the weight and the press, you're gonna hold a dumbbell the opposite side that is stepping. So if I'm stepping on my left leg, I'm holding it in my right hand. So I'm gonna step, sink, and I'm just gonna come across with my weight. I don't need to touch the ground. I don't need to round my back. I'm just holding the weight. I reach across. When I press off and stand up, I press and I hit my, like almost like a single shoulder press. So here, press, 1. Here, press, 2. Here, press, 3, and then switch sides. So again, your lateral is out to the side, but you're not actually going to the side. You're staying forward, sink diagonal back. There's a pocket back here your butt needs to fit into. Press back off to release up. Press with that hand, okay? If it's too confusing, you can do the lateral with no weight, and you would just be doing the leg part. And then our part 2 is 3 max plank holds. So what that means is you are going to go into an elbow plank and you're gonna hold it. You can use a timer if you want. You don't have to. Like if you're curious what the time is, you're gonna wanna use the timer. But you're not doing it to a timer, okay? You are doing it until you can no longer hold it. So you're gonna get into your elbow plank, you're gonna hold it. Whenever you fall, you're gonna rest. You can rest however long you want, but you have to do that 2 more times, okay? So you're gonna do your plank hold as long as you can, fall, rest. Plank as long as you can, fall, rest. Plank as long as you can, and then you're done, okay? So again, if you're curious to see how long your planks are, you can time it. If you don't care, just do it. And again, you're not doing it for a certain length, you're doing it until you can no longer hold it, okay? So your elbow plank is just like our high plank that I talk about, except you're on your elbow. So you're still up on your toes, your body is still in a straight line, you're not piked, you're not sagged down, except you're on your elbows instead of on your palms. So you're on your elbows and you just hold it, okay? Hold it until you can no longer. So that one might be harder than you think. I think a lot of people think like, oh, we did planks in middle school and like they're not that bad. But once you don't do them for a long time and then you try again, they actually can be really hard. So if you find that you do the first time, like one, and you like only held it like 10 seconds, that is fine. Rest a really long time and just try it again. Even if you only get another 10 seconds and maybe the last time you only get 8, or maybe you only get 8 and then 5. That is fine. It's not for time. It's just for you to do it until failure. That is the point. So it's not about how long you hold it. It is just about doing it in that way 3 times, okay?